Hello, everyone. Welcome to ReachIvy's webinar series, Know Your Top Colleges. We've launched this special speaker series to help students get a deeper insight into top colleges globally and decipher the application process. Our speaker today comes from a school of business that looks to combine experimental learning, integrative teaching, a focus on principal leadership, and a global mindset to help students achieve their career goals. But before we get started, a little bit about ReachIvy. ReachIvy is a premium education and careers advisory. Our study abroad consultants and career guidance coaches help aspiring students get accepted into Ivy League and other top-ranked schools globally and reach their career aspirations through personal mentoring, online services, and a wealth of knowledge accumulated over years of experience. We have successful admits at MIT, Columbia, Harvard, University of Pennsylvania, Georgetown, INSEAD, London Business School, Rothman, among others. Our global team of overseas education consultants have acquired their degrees from premier institutes such as Harvard Business School, Columbia, Stanford, and others. We're passionate about sharing our experiences with students worldwide. We know the intricacies of the rigorous admission procedure and the extreme attention to detail required by top-ranked universities, and thus hold our students' hand through the preparation and complex process of studying abroad. Additionally, our website has extensive resources including sample resumes, manuals, templates, and specific answers together by our expert counselors. So a little bit about myself. I'm Grishma Nanavati. I'm the lead counselor at ReachIvy. I've completed my MBA from the Tepper School of Business at Carnegie Mellon University and a Bachelor of Science from the University of Warwick and my GCSE and A-levels from Hong Kong. I've worked with companies like American Express Financial Advisors, Pertinent Partners, the Dow Chemical Company, across Hong Kong, New York, Michigan, in a wide range of roles. Having experienced careers and education in a broad range of environments has really helped me build a global perspective and assist students not only understand their options, but find their fit. So we have a very special guest with us today, and I'm very excited to introduce Shelly Heinrich, who's the Director of MBA Admissions at Georgetown University, McDonough School of Business. Hi, Shelly, and welcome.
Hi, thank you. I'm really excited to be participating in the webinar today.
Great. So Shelly leads the marketing and communications team within the MBA Admissions department. She spent more than 12 years in the higher education, nonprofit, and corporate sectors. Prior to Georgetown, she worked in MBA admissions at George Washington University School of Business. She also brings experience from the University of Texas at Austin, the McCombs School of Business, the Syracuse University Whitman School of Management, the Washington Center, and the American Airlines Training and Conference Center. Shelly received a master's in education from the University of Texas at Austin and a bachelor in business administration from Texas Christian University. Additionally, she's recently completed a certificate of marketing from Georgetown University and will start the executive MBA program at Georgetown this fall. Wow, that's awesome, Shelly. It's really great to have you speaking with us today. We're really excited to learn more about the MBA program at Georgetown and deciphering the application process and understanding the admission criteria. So thank you again for joining us.
Wonderful. I look forward to it.
Great. So I'll just start right away with my first question. Can you share with us a little bit about the McDonough School of Business and the MBA program, especially about being global ready, which is an important mantra at the school?
Yeah, definitely. So, Georgetown McDonough, located in the heart of Washington, D.C., we really aim to provide you with a transformational experience. So from the time that you start the program until the time that you graduate, we hope that you've been transformed. So intellectually, academically, your career network and career preparation, your leadership skills, we hope you're different because of the investment that you've made over the course of 2 years. We aim to develop principled leaders who have a global mindset and who want to be in service and make a positive impact on business and society. Over the last year, I think Georgetown has seen some really exciting, things that we're really proud of. So we have risen in all 3 major rankings, so Financial Times, U.S. News, and Business Week. We've jumped in all three rankings. Over the last 3 years, our applications have increased 37%. If you look at our media mentions, and so the buzz, people talking about Georgetown McDonough, in 2009 in media, we had kind of 1,200 media mentions. Now we're this year over 11,000. So it's really exciting to kind of be a part of Georgetown McDonough. There's a lot of exciting things that are happening here. Even our career statistics, this last year we increased our salaries 7%, we increased our signing bonuses 15%. And more than 50% of our students were hired by Fortune 100 companies. So just some really exciting things happening at Georgetown. In terms of the mission that I just mentioned, we look to develop principled leaders. We look to develop global ready, global mindset leaders, and then those in service to business and society. What does this mean? So with leadership, we have both a curriculum, kind of 3 courses in leadership that students will take, and then we have a co-curricular outside of class leadership development opportunities. So you will, in these classes, you will do 360-degree assessments, you'll do simulations, you'll do career inventories where you'll learn about different leadership traits and personality assessments. You'll actually dive into curriculum about how to be a leader, and then you'll test it out in groups and teams. And then outside of the classroom, you can become a leader in a student organizations. We have over 40 student organizations. If you decide to be on the board or a president of a student organization, we lead you through some fairly rigorous training on how to, kind of be the most effective leader that you can, and do it here at Georgetown McDonough so you can then take those skills out into the workforce. In terms of our ability to provide you to be global ready, I think you asked a question about that. It's interesting to note that while about 33% of our students incoming are international, 84% have lived, worked, or studied abroad. So 84% of our incoming class has some type of substantial global. So you come in and you're in class with people that can provide you with a real perspective of how they've lived, worked, or studied abroad in the world. And I think that's really unique to Georgetown and really provides for that global experience. We actually have our students consult for international companies as well. So all of our students will do a live consulting experience. So they'll work for 6 to 8 weeks here, and then they'll go abroad for a week consulting for an actual company. And then kind of thirdly, I mentioned our impact to service and positive impact on business and society. So we really are looking for business students who want to gain those rigorous business foundation skills, but then use it to be in a career and to be a leader, to make a positive impact on society, to leave the world or the company, the organization that you're going to be involved in a better place. And that's part of our Jesuit values. So that's a little bit about Georgetown McDonough.
Wow, that is, it truly is a holistic experience. I mean, from the immersion within the classroom to the real life application to the career services, you're really trying to encompass every angle that, a true global manager and leader really, all the right skill sets they need to really thrive in today's world. So thank you for that overview. That was great. But, being able to pick the right program is also crucial given the large number of options available in the market. And, we at ReachIvy meet a lot of students who face this decision. So who ideally should be applying for this program?
Yeah, so, an MBA is not just for people who have come from traditional backgrounds, and it's not just for people going into traditional backgrounds. So we see people coming from all different industries that we like to admit, so not just from finance or consulting, but from nonprofit, from marketing, from media, from military, from government. And so we actually look for a diversity of industries of people who we admit. And then we see people, again, taking those business skills that they learn in an MBA and going back into fields, yes, like finance, consulting, and marketing, but also into nonprofits, into international development, into entrepreneurship and starting their own companies. And so an MBA really provides you with that broad skill set that is applicable to any industry. And also, the great thing about an MBA is it doesn't pigeonhole you. So there are many specialized master's degrees out there, like masters in, kind of accounting or finance or marketing or history, or, very kind of narrow degrees that are great, and they do prepare you for the field of that specialized degree. But an MBA provides you with kind of the flexibility to pivot into any type of industry. And so even if 10 to 15 years after your MBA, you decide you want to switch your function or industry, an MBA will provide you with that flexibility to do that. And so I think it's for people really looking to kind of gain those skills and that experience to make them a leader in any type of organization.
Great. So it really is a very broad-based education that gives you, like you said, the skills for whether you're an industry switcher, and no matter what industry you come from, you also are able to find your way in wherever you want to go moving forward based on the programs and courses you have available.
Yes.
Can you just share with us a little bit? I know you mentioned that 84% of your students are international. I have some kind of international experience, but can you share with us like what background, profile, traits that you're looking for in your incoming class?
Yeah, that's great. So in terms of traits, we are looking for people that have grit, that are not they're not scared to kind of roll up their sleeves and dig into a project and take the lead onto a project and be a leader both in terms of leading but also doing and following. So it's kind of that grit that we're looking for. Determination. This is a rigorous program. You will put a lot into it, and then at the end of the 2 years, you are going to be proud of yourself for what you have accomplished and how you have transformed. So we're looking for kind of that determination. We're looking for people that are interested in taking advantage of all of the resources at Georgetown University as well as Washington, D.C. So I think coming to a school in a location like DC provides you with so many opportunities to learn outside of the classroom. There are 176 embassies in DC. There are multinational organizations like the World Bank or the IMF, or organizations like PAHO, or so many different organizations that you could potentially intern with or consult with or go to events at. Speakers from around the world that come to DC, speaking both at Georgetown and in DC. So this city in and of itself, provides all of those experiences. And so we're looking for people that want to take advantage of the opportunity of being here in Washington, DC. In terms of more kind of the nuts and bolts, we are looking for a minimum of 2 years of work experience at the time that you would start the program. But really kind of the average of 5 years, of like 4 to kind of 6 years, of years of experience at the time that you would start the program, not the time that you would apply. We're looking for people that have had potential growth in their organization, not necessarily maybe in terms of title, but in terms of experience. People obviously that are, academically qualified. We are looking for those that have quantitative skills, and so definitely highlighting any type of quantitative skills you've had in your jobs or in your undergraduate degree are important to us. And then, we, I think, are looking for, many students coming, many international students aren't able to come to campus to interview, and so we'll do Skype interviews, or we even have staff members typically traveling to India to do interviews. And so it's really important to kind of show your personality in that interview, even if it's via Skype. Smile, have that kind of level of via Skype, because it's really important. We want to get to know who you are as a person, not just what the paper application says about you.
Right. So fit is definitely very important. Like you said, it's not just what they're gaining out of the classroom, but even utilizing, like you said, there are 40 clubs on campus, and then there are things even beyond campus. If you're choosing to be in this city, really maximize all the opportunities that are given to you, and be aware of all the opportunities, to make sure that the college is a fit. So you've looked into all these options as well, which is great. Yes. Very important, which I agree, definitely. So can you tell us a little bit about, want to maybe a little bit more about the curriculum, like maybe the most interesting classes or professors that you have in the MBA curriculum?
Yes, definitely. So just to kind of give a recap, our MBA program has 60 credits. You'll take about the first year and a half doing core courses, and you'll be with a cohort, and then the last year and a half the last year of the course, you'll be doing electives, and you will have to choose from over 70 electives. You don't have to declare a concentration or a specialization. I think that's nice. You can actually kind of customize your elective areas, taking electives in, maybe skill gaps you have or specific interest areas that you have. And then you also have the opportunity to take intensive learning experiences. So these are 1 week courses where you go from 9 to 5 for just 1 week, and you get an entire 3 hours of academic credit completed. And they're in very interesting and niche topic areas, potentially like data visualization or advertising campaign, or kind of the business of water, or maybe national security. So very interesting topics that our professors might have expertise in. In terms of professors, we have a mix of kind of academic professors as well as practicing practitioners who bring kind of that real world experience. Our faculty members teach in both the case method as well as lecture, as well as group work or experiential learning. So you will kind of get a variety. We don't rely on just one method. We think it's important to kind of have a variety based on the topic that you'll be taking. And then our faculty members, I think what's great about them is that many of them consult and advise for some of the world's largest organizations here in Washington, D.C. And so you're getting kind of that practical experience by nature of who our professors have relationships with here in D.C. and then, globally. And so some of our faculty members, are just, they are able to take topics that may otherwise seem difficult or maybe maybe more quantitative in nature, and really bring it alive to our students, and really have our students really dig in and become very interested in some of the topics. And so I think our faculty members are outstanding.
Oh, great. So it's good to have that blend, right, of both the academia and the real life application to get a total learning or experience. So that's super. Thank you so much. My next question was, what are some of the facilities and faculty resources available to students who are, we touched upon earlier, who want to switch careers or maybe pursue an entrepreneurial interest while in the program?
Great. Well, I'll first talk about the entrepreneurship component, and then I'll go back and talk about the Career Center. So if you are interested in entrepreneurship, we have our Entrepreneurship Initiative led by Jeff Reed. And the word entrepreneurship or career interest in entrepreneurship is very broad. So you could certainly want to start a company when you graduate from an MBA. I wouldn't say most students typically do that. Most students maybe look to start a company 5 or 10 years after their MBA. But many students go to work for a startup, or they're working for their family business and they're looking to kind of grow or enhance it. Students work in venture capital. Students also work in intrapreneurship, which is kind of working in a large established company, but more in the innovation side. So working to launch maybe new products or new services. And so entrepreneurship is more of a mindset, right? It's teaching you how to be innovative and creative. And so you can certainly take classes on entrepreneurship. We have a partnership with an incubator here in DC called 1776, where if you actually want to launch your company, you can utilize the resources and be housed in this incubator. Our students participate in the venture capital investment competition. Georgetown has won first place 2 of the last 3 years, beating out most of the top 10 MBA programs here in the US. So definitely a great competition to be a part of, to get in the mindset of what a venture capitalist looks at. And then we have entrepreneurs that come in residence to do chalk talks and to do coffee chats with some of our students, just to have our students bounce their ideas off of them, bounce their business ideas off of them. So a lot of resources in entrepreneurship. So the first part of your question was about how do we prepare students for kind of the career. And so students will actually start working with the students, with the Career Center in June before they begin the program in August. So while you're still living in your country, you'll log on and do a series of career preparation webinars during the months of June and July. It's not time intensive. You do it at your own pace. But you also, over the course of the summer, will come to the program with a polished and prepared resume, cover letter, accomplishments record, kind of 30-second pitch that has been edited by our career consultants, so that by the time that you get to school, you are ready to go in terms of being in front of employers. We have kind of worked with you and polished you to kind of get Georgetown ready, and you're ready to start recruiting when you get on campus in September. You'll even have a call with your career consultant in July. Every student will be assigned a career consultant based upon their intended industry interest. And so if you're interested in finance, or you're interested in consumer product goods, or you're interested in consulting, you'll be assigned with that respective career consultant that is your kind of point of contact throughout the entire 2-year experience. We do have career consultants on staff that are experienced in and focus on our international students as well, that know about the H-1B visa process, can help you kind of navigate it, understand which type of companies hire international students, whether they're US-based companies, multinational companies, or even companies abroad. And so we really kind of have that resource internally to guide and advise our international students. Obviously, the H-1B visa process is a lottery process, but if you look at our kind of statistics for international students, we do have successful international students that are getting jobs. And so, so we're here a resource for you. And then, throughout the entire year, we have career treks and events and webinars and employers coming on campus. So I could do an entire webinar about the Career Center resources because they're very plentiful.
Great. No, so it's great to know that, and also it's really interesting to hear that entrepreneurship, like giving it really more of a broad-based application. It's not just starting a company as soon as you graduate, but it's also looking at within a corporate setup or like you said, entrepreneurship, so it's really good to have that. And then career, having all that support, whether you're a career switcher or not, just having the career service as a support, which was one of my questions a little later, that because that is one of the issues international students are worried about career guidance and placement, especially for some, they are looking to work in the US, others are looking to come back and return to India. So as you mentioned, there are guidance counselors there to help them through this whole process, regardless of what they're looking, which geography they're looking to target.
Yes, so we have a list. So the way it works is our Career Center keeps an inventory of employers that have hired international students before. And are actively seeking international students. And then they also have a list of employers who have said that they would. They're very kind of interested. They haven't done it in the last couple of years, but they're very interested in doing it. And then there's kind of the list of the global organizations that you can work maybe for that large organization, but you start out working in different countries. And so, the Career Center has been doing this for many, many years, and they are a great resource to kind of guide students. I would say students that are more flexible in terms of their location or, kind of their companies are typically the students that get the most options. And so, it really kind of comes down to how prepared are you for the career that you want to go into? What types of skills and resources and networking have you done while you're in your MBA program? How have you reached out and leveraged our alumni network, which is 178,000 Georgetown alumni all over the world? And so a lot of it comes down to, how involved and invested have you been in the 2 years at our program in order to succeed and achieve those goals afterwards.
Sure, absolutely. You have to work hand in hand to really make the best placements come through. And on the flip side of it as well, we have financial aid, which is a question a lot of students are interested in learning. So could you be able to give us some indication of the types of financial aid available to international students applying to the program? Or if you could just tell us who an ideal candidate would be, just some insight about financial aid for international students.
Definitely. So all of our students who apply are automatically considered for merit-based scholarships. So it's not financial aid in the term that we would call kind of federal loans. It is merit-based scholarships that are given to students. At the time that you would be admitted, if you are admitted, you would also find out if you are awarded a scholarship. We give scholarships in the amount of kind of partial to full. It varies every year, but international students are considered equally to domestic students in terms of our merit scholarships. I would always recommend applying earlier. So, round 1 or round 2 are priority for scholarship. If you are prepared, I would say apply even round 1, October 10th this year. But definitely not later than round 2. especially as an international student, you want to consider scholarships and as well as processing your own visa to come. And so once you get to round 3, scholarships are very limited, and also the logistics of getting a visa become complicated. So, again, the scholarships opportunities for students. Once you arrive here as a student, there are also opportunities to potentially, apply for a graduate assistantship or teaching assistantship, or even within our MBA admissions team, we're always looking for fantastic students to apply for our student ambassador positions. So there are different ways to kind of obtain part-time employment on campus while you're here as an international student.
It just really seems like between the academics, the curriculum, the extracurriculars on campus, immersing yourself in the city, the job opportunities, there's a lot of stuff that a student can engage in during their time. So what is a typical day like, a classic day for an MBA student at the university? Could you maybe describe or is there even a typical day?
Yeah, no, so the full-time students take class or can expect to be on campus Monday through Thursday from about 9 to 5. So you'll expect to have classes, on and off all day for kind of the four days, Monday through Thursday. You don't have classes in the evening, and then you don't have classes on Friday. Friday are set aside for our career days. So every Friday in the fall, we have a different career day that focuses on a different industry. So it might be a consulting day or marketing day or nonprofit day or energy day. And the idea of these days, which are optional to attend, are to expose students to that industry, to see if it's maybe something that they're interested in pursuing, to expose them to alumni and employers as well, to start networking for the internships that they would do the summer after their first year, and or even for the jobs after their second year. And so, so there's the career days. Also on Fridays, typically when student organizations may have their meeting times, and just for students to kind of come on campus and enjoy the student life aspect of Georgetown McDonough. At the end of the week, on Thursday evenings, right after the last day of the formal kind of academic work week, we have what are called Thursday night kegs, which are basically socials that are housed in our building here at McDonough, and they're hosted by a different student club each week. And so they're usually, attended by 100 to 150 of our MBA students. They're a great way to network and just kind of unwind from the week and get to know your colleagues. People bring their partners and spouses. I've even seen kids running around. And so it's really just a great way to connect with the community. And then your weekends are your weekends to explore the fantastic opportunities that are in DC. We're only an hour and a half train ride from Philadelphia, or a 3-hour train ride from New York, probably a 6 to 7 hour train ride from Boston. So again, just a lot of opportunities to explore the East Coast and all of the amazing cities here.
Wow, I'm very excited to come and even not as a student, just come and visit. It sounds like a great experience, definitely. I have one last question for you, Shelly. If you had one piece of advice to give students interested in applying to this program, what would it be?
Yeah, I would say get to know our program. And there's many ways that you can do it virtually. We actually just this past week hosted a full-time MBA webinar. We'll be hosting an application workshop webinar later this month, as well as other full-time MBA webinars where we'll actually dig into the nuts and bolts of our program. We have a fantastic alumni network in India. So we have a Georgetown Alumni Club of India. We have great alumni ambassadors in each of the cities. So get to know our students. Contact us once the semester begins. So in September, we have student ambassadors here on campus, many of our students from India that would love to connect with you and share about their experiences as they're currently here in the program. And then let's see, next winter, during winter break, many of our students will go back home. Many students will host coffee chats back in India. So just take advantage of all the opportunities to meet us and network with us over the course of next year, over the course of this coming year, so that you can get to know our program. Again, apply early. October 10th is our first deadline. Our second deadline is January 5th, and so target those as ones to apply to Georgetown McDonough. And then, we look forward to having you join us next fall. We think this is a fantastic global mindset program in a very global city, and I think you'll really enjoy the transformational experience that you'll get here at McDonough.
I totally agree. I mean, thank you so much for all those insights. It was really great to learn not only about how the curriculum is at the school, but even in terms of the students, immersion programs, global, the globalness, entrepreneurship. You really gave us a really good in-depth understanding of Georgetown, the program, and the city. So it was really great to hear about all this. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure hosting you today, and I really appreciate all the time and information you shared with us. So thank you so much, Shelly.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for hosting me. We are actually in India right now recruiting, so if you're close to any of the QS MBA fairs, feel free to join our Assistant Dean, Caitlin Stevenson. She'll be she's in 5 cities in India this week, and so definitely come and meet us. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah, I'm sure the students are definitely going to be reaching out very, very soon. And so thank you everyone who's to listen to the webinar. If you have any other questions, please feel free to email us at help@reachivy.com or log on to www.reachivy.com and submit a query. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shelly. Really appreciate it.